want to thank you guys for coming out to the call tonight. This is my weekly Here to Help You webinar. For those of you that have been here before, you know that I do these calls weekly on Mondays at 8 o'clock. Usually come on here and do some sort of little presentation or demo. Sometimes we have a guest, and it's mainly just these webinars are question answer sessions. There's rarely ever anything for sale on these calls. Occasionally you might hear me mention a product that's coming out or going to be launched, and it's not that I'm here to sell you that, it's just I want to make you aware of it. Give these webinars once a week, like I said, just to give you guys a chance to come on here and for about an hour or so give you a chance to learn a little something, ask questions if you have them, answer questions that I got in the replay forms the past week or so, and then any I got in emails as well. So, like I said, I do these calls just for you guys, just to give you guys a chance once a week to come on here and hopefully learn a little something that you can use in your online business in some way. Now, tonight, I've got a training that I didn't do myself. I was going to do this training myself, but I found that I had this already recorded through another membership site that I belong to, but the topic that it's about is how to create a JVZ sales funnel. And when I first released the Easy Passive Sales product, I created a simple product listing, but I didn't do a sales funnel in it. And since then, I've gotten occasional questions about how you build out a full sales funnel on JVZ. And tonight, I'm going to play a video for you guys that goes through the whole process. So it's a really good, informative video. I encourage you to take notes throughout it. And of course, you know, the replay, you'll be able to watch it again. But it's really good. He goes through the whole product launch of launching a sales funnel on JVZ. Now you can apply almost the same technique as far as the principles to any other marketplace where you want to list your products. But in this particular instance, we will be seeing a JVZ sales funnel set up.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of My Unfair Advantage. I'm Omar Martin, that's my beautiful wife Melinda here, and we're going to talk about creating a funnel inside of JVZ. I wanted to do a video about this, a webinar about this, because it's a little tricky. I mean, it's a little confusing because the way they have the logic set up inside of JVZ, they are I've heard through the grapevine that they are planning on changing the way that this is done, because it is a pain in the ass. It is confusing. I don't want to say it's a pain in the ass. It's actually very easy to set up. But it is confusing because it doesn't follow the logic of, okay, if they said yes to this, then they go here. If they said no to this, then they go there. It's a little bit more confusing in the illustration. It thinks more like a programmer would think rather than how a marketer thinks. So I wanted to just go through the steps with you here. And the first thing that we need to do is obviously have a product. So I'm going to go over to my Sellers tab. And these are all the products that I have in JVZ right now that I'm selling. Okay, so if we come down here, this is the one that I just created, which is called Copy Paste Commissions, and that's the one that we're going to be using. Now, I had to create this front end product so that I can get the affiliate details page. Now, the affiliate details page is this page where my affiliates get sent to so that they can request their link, so that they can click here and get their link. So I wanted affiliates to start signing up. Now we're still more than a month away from this product launch, and that's why I'm setting up the funnel now. Actually, today is a month that we'll be launching, a month from now. So what I wanted to do is go ahead and create the other products in the funnel and then link them up inside of JVZ. So I'm going to go to Asana, which is where my products and pricing information and where we're keeping track of everything basically. So let me come over here to projects, and we're going to go to these are all the active projects we have going on right now. I'm going to go to Copy Paste Commissions, and this is where I have the information for this product. The front end is a $9.95 report, and that's the product that we already created. Then we have O201, which is called Top Commission Toolkit. So I'm going to write this down. O201 is Top Commission Toolkit, and that one is going to be a $27 product. Then Auto 2 is going to be a $37 product, and that one is called the Copy Paste Commission Done For You service. Okay, now we've got downsell one, which is $17. Downsell 1 and downsell 2. Downsell 1 is 17 and downsell 2 is 27. So it's going to be Toolkit Lite and DFY Lite. Toolkit Lite, DFY Lite. So what we're going to do is basically offer the same thing, but we'll remove something from the product to justify the discount. And that's the key, by the way, whenever you're creating a downsell. If you want to make sure that it sells, you have to justify the reduction in price. If you just arbitrarily drop the price on a product and say, hey, well, then you're just haggling, and what'll happen is you're actually going to piss the customer off, and you're going to cause bad press and refunds. That's what'll happen. So now that I know what this is here, I've got to go and create 4 additional products. So we've got a total of 5 products for this particular funnel that need to exist inside of JVZ. Now, what we're going to do is come over to JVZ here, and we can actually duplicate products, okay? So, which is what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to run you through the settings real quick of this product. So I just clicked on it, and the settings are very basic. I haven't, there's a couple things here that I haven't even done yet because we're just now starting to assemble this. But we've got the price. I've got the date that the product's going to launch, the name of the product, the price of the product. The front end is 100% commission. The back end, we're going to make 50% commission. So every product we create today is 50%. Then we've got our sales pages. So this is obviously the wrong page for that. That says Content Nitrous, but the name of the product is Copy Paste Commissions. So I'm just going to put that in there because that was obviously a mistake. And then this is the thank you page that I've made for now. It's just a page called Thanks Dude. It's just a placeholder. We haven't even put the protection measures inside the website yet. So this is all very temporary. Okay? And then of course down here I've just got some text for the affiliate to see when they request approval. I want the affiliate to tell me how they heard about us. I want them to tell me how they're going to be promoting the product, and I want them to give me their contact details. I only do that for the front end product, and this is the front end product. And the only reason is because they're not going to be requesting to promote the back end products. The back end products are part of a funnel. So when they request the front end approval, they also get approved for all the back end products that I attach in the funnel. So I don't need to copy any of this information. This stuff over here on the right hand side, since these are all upsells, again, we're going to leave this all alone with the exception of the checkout options, making sure that it's PayPal. All right, so let's go back over to sellers. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this product basically 4 times. All right, so I'm going to come down here to this section where it says duplicate product. Let me find the Copy Paste Commissions product right there and duplicate product. Okay, so now I've duplicated it, and it should be in the unsellable section down here. Duplicate. Right. Oh, no, wait. Where are we? Oh, no, wait. Put it up top already. Copy Paste Commission. Oh man, I'm lost. I can't even find it. Where is it? Did it put it down here? I thought it would put it down here in the ones that can't be sold, but it didn't, so it must be up top here. So what I'm going to do is sort this list. Go ahead and sort it. I just clicked on the product title, so it puts them alphabetical now, and I'm going to click on product title again, so it starts at the A's, and as we come down here, we should be able to see Copy Paste Commissions. And there is Copy Paste Commissions, but I don't see the other one that I duplicated. Let's try duplicating that again. Stand by. Copy Paste Commissions. Duplicated products are initially hidden from affiliate and the marketplace. Yeah, that's fine. So we duplicate again. All right, your product has been duplicated and it is marked inactive. Right, so where do I see it? Not there. Okay, here we go. They were right here in front of my face the whole time. So we've got two of them now, right here. Duplicate, copy paste commission, and copy paste commission. I'm going to do it 2 more times. Okay, so let's go find copy paste commissions here. Duplicate again. And 1 more time. Copy paste commission. All right, so now I've got 4 duplicates. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click to modify this one. And I'm going to click Edit. And this is going to be Auto 1. All right, so the commission toolkit. So let's change the name first. And I'm just going to go toolkit right there. And the price of this is $27. And I'm going to go ahead and click Allow Sales Yes, so it moves it up top. Show in Marketplace No. The commission structure is 50% on this because it's a back-end product. The help desk is correct. Oh, this has to be copypastecommissions.net, not Content Nitrous. I guess I didn't save that other one when I made the change. And everything else here for now can stay the same. Okay, I'm not going to make it eligible for product of the day. And we don't need this extra stuff here. We don't need anything here on the list. And checkout options, PayPal. Okay, so that product is now set up, and that is the toolkit. Now, Auto 2 is the DFY service. Please fix this error. Oh, I have a $sign in there, and I don't need a $sign. So let me just go like that, and let's save. Okay, so now we have the second product, and that one should have moved up now. So it should be right there. Okay, so we got copy paste commissions, then we got copy paste commissions toolkit, which is Auto 1. Okay, so now let's go and do Auto 2, which is the copy paste commissions done for you service. Okay, so I'm going to grab right here and just click to edit that. And more of the same, basically what we just did. So go ahead and allow sales. I'm going to just copy paste commissions DFY service like that. This one is $37. This commission is 50%. This is supposed to be copy paste commissions, not Content Nitrous. These details will probably change. Let me remove this from here. Don't need that. Let's come over here, make sure PayPal is ticked off, and we are not adding this to a particular list. So I'm going to hit save on this for now. The main reason I'm doing this is because obviously unless the products exist, so here we have now copy paste commissions, copy paste commission done for you service, and copy paste commissions toolkit. So we've got Auto 1, Auto 2, and front end product. Now we need to get downsell 1 and downsell 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click here, edit. And the downsell one is Toolkit Lite. Allow sales. The Toolkit Lite is $17 at 50% commission. Let's paste that in there. Let's get rid of all this extra text. And up here, we're going to go ahead and tick off PayPal. Select none there. All right, so now I need to change the name here. Forgot to do that. And this is the $17 Toolkit Lite. So that's downsell 1. And as soon as we create downsell 2, we'll be ready to start setting up the funnel using JVZ's funnel feature. Okay, so here is the copy paste commissions. The last duplicate that we just created, we created 4 duplicates. This is the last of them. Let's go ahead and mark it yes for sales. This one will be the DFY light. Okay, so now we're going to go DFY service light. DFY light, okay, and this one, it sells for $27, and this is 50% commission as well. Let's make sure the sales page is correct on that. We don't need any affiliate text here. It's going to be selling on PayPal, and save. Alright, so we've got all of that done now. Let me go ahead and change that sales page on the front end product because I thought I had done it, but I guess I forgot to hit the save button, because when we duplicated it, it duplicated it with the oh wait, look at that. Yeah, it duplicated it with Content Nitrous up there. Hold on. So let me go ahead and paste the right sales page there, landing page URL, which, by the way, currently only has like a countdown timer, coming soon. It should say 29 days on it. Copy paste commissions. Oh, 28 days. 28 days, 16 hours. So we're technically 29 days away. But yeah, so that's where we're at. And okay, so now we can start setting up the funnel. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to Sellers, Sales, Funnels. And I actually have to add a sales funnel, and this one is going to be called Copy Paste Commissions. Copy Paste Commissions. Oop. I think we just lost my keyboard, and I may need to put batteries in here. Not 2 eyes. Copy Paste Commissions. Okay, save the funnel name. And now for the front end product, once you add the front end product, you'll see the image of the funnel. So let's find Copy Paste Commissions, front end, and now I just click Save the Sales Funnel, Proceed, and boom. So now we've got a funnel diagram here, and in this funnel diagram, you've got these products that you can add and remove. Now, here's where the logic gets a little bit tough to follow, all right? Copy Paste Commissions is the front end product. So technically, if this was an actual flow chart that logically made sense, with Copy Paste Commissions, they have one option, and that is buy or not buy. If they don't buy, they've X'd out of the page. So on a front page, on a sales page, you don't have an option, yes, I want to buy, no, I don't want to buy. If they don't want to buy, they're going to leave your website. They're going to exit out. They might see a wait before you go. But there isn't there isn't a downsell to the front end product right on that page. So they don't have the option of saying no. You know what I mean? Like, if they say no, they don't see another product from the front page. Okay? So what happens, though, is once they buy the front end, they do see an upsell. They are taken to this upsell. And then from here, they do have an option to say yes or no. Right? So technically, this would be where the OTO number 2 goes. This would be downsell number 1. And this would be downsell number 2. And then the funnel ends right here. So that's the logical way that a funnel diagram would go. But because a programmer designed this image, it's a little bit tough to follow. And I get a lot of questions about this. Well, wait, how does that make sense? So try to follow me here, because this one is going to have a couple of products. And actually, what I've had to do in the past is even duplicate a product just for the purpose of having the funnel work and having the funnel make sense. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do here now is add our first upsell. Okay, so the upsell that's going to go here is going to be, let's select it, and that's going to be the very first product, which is the Top Commissions Toolkit. Okay, so Copy Paste Commission Toolkit goes there. I'm going to click Add and Proceed. Okay, so notice how it put the product there. Okay, so now what is the downsell? If they don't buy that, they're going to get a downsell offer, and that downsell is going to be the Toolkit Lite. And now it's going to put that, technically it should put that here, but it doesn't. It puts it right down here, which gets a little bit confusing. Here's why it gets confusing. It gets confusing because now we have to put the same product in two upsells, which means that if they did buy, they see an upsell, and if they don't buy, they see that same product in the upsell. And the funnel logic has a little bit of a hard time using the same product twice in the same funnel. So we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens here. All right. So now we've got the copy paste commissions toolkit, and this one can also have an upsell. So the upsell to that, which would be Auto 2, Auto 2 would be the done for you service. So copy paste commissions, done for you service. I'm going to click that, hit add, and that should put it in the next little green spot here. There it is. Okay. So now here's where we're going to have some issues. We've got to put we basically have to put both of these same things in these same boxes here. All right. So now you've got the Toolkit Lite, and the Toolkit Lite has an upsell, and that will be the DFY service as well. It's the same upsell from this one goes to that one. So let's go ahead and go DFY service. Okay, so we've got the same product here as we do here. Okay, and now we've got to do, if they say no to this, they're going to go to the copy paste commission done for you service Lite. Okay, so DFY Lite and DFY Lite on both of those. Okay, so let's go to DFY here Lite. And okay, so that put it there. So if they say no to this, they get taken to the Lite version, right? They get offered the Lite version. And the same thing should happen down here. Proceed. Oh no, I didn't add it yet. DFY Lite. Okay, so now ultimately, what tells us whether or not we set this up right is we have to actually do a test purchase. So we do a test purchase, and then we run through all of these. Now, a couple things that are very, very important to mention. First, let's go through this, and then I'm going to go over some important points here about setting up the funnel and the steps that you have to take next. Right. So, first and foremost, the logic here. This downsell is actually the downsell to this product. It's not the downsell to this one. So the upsell here is the toolkit, and if they choose not to buy the toolkit, they're going to see the Toolkit Lite. It's not like if they choose not to buy this, they see the Toolkit Lite, right? And that is where the problem is. If this little line right here came off of here, then this would be much easier to understand, but it doesn't. It comes off of here, which makes the logic a little tricky for some people. But essentially, if they say no to this, they're going to see this, the Toolkit Lite. All right? If they say yes to this, they're going to see the done for you service. If they say no to the done for you service, then they're going to see the toolkit, the DFY Lite, the done for you service Lite. Okay? Now, if they come down this side of the funnel, if they end up saying yes to the Toolkit Lite, then they'll see the done for you service, just like they did over here. And if they say no to the done for you service, then they'll see the done for you Lite. So in theory, this should all work. Now, to actually set up the pages, you need to copy all your buttons from here. And this is a big mistake that people make, is they go to the product itself and they copy the button from there. The code in the button is a little bit different. So when you're going to do when you need to go and put the buy buttons on your sales page, you come over here, you click buy button under the specific product. Did you see how I did that? So I need right now to put my buy button on this page, right? So to put my buy button on that page, I got to go to that product here, right? And I got to click buy buttons. And then now I'm going to select the button style, and I'm going to copy it and paste it. If you have your own button that you're going to use, then you need to use this code here. All right? Very, very important. If you copy the wrong button code from the wrong page for any one of these, products, you're going to screw up your funnel. And this is what a lot of people mess up. So the next part is going to be copying the upsell, right? So like, let's say now I'm working on this page in my website, and that is the upsell 1, which is the commission toolkit, right? That's what the product is called. So what I need to do now is come down here to this upsell, copy paste commission toolkit, and I've got to go and click the buy button. Now, I copy the button that I want and I paste it on my page, but there's another thing that I'm going to need on this page, and that is a no thanks link. That's this right here. So why do we need that? Well, because on this page, they have an option to either buy and then see the next upsell, or not buy and see this downsell. That's why you have to have that specific link. You've got to use the link that JVZ gives you on that page in order for the affiliate's information to be tracked across the funnel, so that the affiliate gets paid on every purchase made on this funnel, because someone might decline here but buy something else somewhere down the line. JVZ needs to be keeping track of what that's called a session. It's called a payment session. And if you just directly link to the page that you're selling this product on with a regular hyperlink on the bottom of this sales page, then you're going to be excluding the affiliate from earning commissions, and you're also messing up your metrics. JVZ can't track clicks directly on your link. They can track clicks on their button, though. So they can track clicks on a page that contains their button, and that's where the JVZ metrics are pulled from. So when we see things like EPC, we see things like hits versus visitors versus, EPC, all that stuff is based on the buttons that are getting, the impressions that the buttons are getting from people landing on your pages. So you got to make sure that not just you're copying your button code, but also your no thanks links, and that you're doing that all from this funnel page section inside of JVZ. Okay, so this is a very basic video on the logic and how it works. And obviously things can get more and more complex here as you add products. I've never had to go past maybe one thing in this third row. This is a product, this is a funnel with 5 products in it. Okay, 5 products. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two are the same as these two. So we only count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two are the same as these two. So 5 products in this funnel. Let's say you added another one, a 6th or a 7th. I mean, coming all the way, I don't know anybody, maybe explain to you, but I don't know anybody that's ever used, this many, funnel locations, right? And, but the general concept is still the same. You still copy your button code and everything from here. Ultimately, you would test the funnel by doing a test purchase, and you would do the test purchase right from the main page, selecting the product that's on the front end. So I would come over here to sellers again. We'd come down to the bottom of the page. I'd click on test purchase, and then I'd select the product that I want to test from the drop down here. So in this case it would be copy paste commissions, the front end. I click that. I click create a test purchase code, and then now I can click this and it goes right to the order page of that product, and it's letting me test for 1 penny. Okay, things to remember here with testing is you got to make sure that you're testing with a separate PayPal account. You can't test with the same PayPal account that's associated with the product inside of JVZ, because that would be like you buying from yourself, and that opens up a wormhole to a different dimension. You don't want that to happen. So this is where you test. Now, if your funnel was set up correctly, once you complete this payment, it will take you to the next offer in your funnel. And then, another thing that I want to leave you with is when you're testing, in the process of testing, let's go back over to the funnels. In the process of testing, let's go to sellers, sales, funnels. You want to test every possible combination. You can't just buy this and this and this and they're like, okay, funnel works, because you don't know if your downsell buttons are working. You don't know if your no thanks button is working. You got to test every possible combination of everything, okay? So that's the way that you set up a funnel. I'm not going to go through the testing because I haven't set up my pages yet and put my buttons on there. And if I started doing that now, this video would take us 3 hours, and I don't want to do that. So for now, this is the way that you set up a funnel. This will probably be changing in the near future with JVZ because I've been in communication with them about it, and this can be illustrated much better. But if it gives you a hard time, don't worry, you can test, you can try it again, you can move these. Nothing here is permanent. You haven't affected anything in your account or anything like that. If you have to delete something, you can very easily click any one of these red remove buttons. Another thing that I want to point out here is you can add products while your launch is in progress. So let's say you have just one upsell and your launch is doing really well and you want to expose people to maybe another offer. You can easily create another product in JVZ and just add it right here. Just add to the thing while the launch is going on. I love that you can come over here and save all your funnels. I can go back and look at older funnels as well. So if we go over to funnels, let's come over to sales funnels. And real quick, take a look at maybe one of our older ones. Let's take a look at our affiliate builder split test funnel. So here's one with the affiliate builder. Was a product that we did that actually had even had one up in this tier, right? And here's all the products added. And as you can see, the process was pretty much the same for setting these up. So this is only as complicated as you made it, as you want to make it. You should definitely be using upsells and downsells in your business. We usually do 100% commission on the front end just because, number one, it attracts affiliates, and number two, it makes your EPCs higher. If you're not happy with the EPC that you have on the front end product, give out a 100% commission. That instantly doubles your EPC, right? So if the commissions that they're earning are 50% of the product and you're not happy with the EPC, you say, oh, the EPC is like at 60 cents a click. I need it to be higher. All you got to do is give 100% on the front end, and boom, you just doubled your EPC with that one little action. So we do that on the front end because it increases the EPC, it makes the affiliates more money, it attracts more affiliates, and then what we do is we do 50% typically on the back end. So doing 100% on the front enables us to make a lot of money on the back at 50. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this this video, and I hope that you have fun making lots of JVZ funnels, and I look forward to seeing you in the next MUA video. Take care.
Okay, I know that was a bit technical, especially if you've never set up a sales funnel. I know that was probably a little technical, and he is right in the description of how they have the diagram laid out. It is exactly wrong when you're first starting out. It doesn't make sense because it does give you the impression that there is a chance of a yes or a no on your front end product when you're first launching. A visitor first comes to the first sales page. So that's wherein the logic messes up and it confuses people. Now, Warriors Plus has, they call them offers, not funnels, but they have actually a better design on how their funnels are laid out once you create them by, and they have little connecting arrows that point to your upsells and downsells. So it makes more sense when you're looking at a sales funnel diagram over on Warriors Plus as opposed to the way JB has theirs. And I hope he is right that they do change that, because I know when I set up a sales funnel over there, it is a little confusing in the very beginning. Do you need to add the front end product to two separate places, wherein you don't? You just need to add the upsell and the downsell and recognize that first front end product on the bottom left-hand side doesn't actually ever come into play. So that's where they cause the confusion by putting that little box in there that never really comes into play. What I'm going to do is I'll give you guys a diagram that has the arrows that point, that shows you the direction of the way the funnel goes. So that way it'll help you when you go to design a sales funnel over there. Like I said, it is confusing because they have that extra box on there that never comes into play, and people think something should be in there. So they wind up putting something in there, and there's no point in it. It serves no purpose. James says, can you use PayPal Sandbox to test the funnel? No, you can't use PayPal Sandbox to test the funnel. You can do a test purchase, and it sets the initial purchase at 1 cent, but you have to use a separate PayPal account to actually go through the funnel. So there's no way of doing it through the sandbox. So JVZ just assumes that you're ready to launch your products when you activate them. Jimmy's saying that he did a sandbox test. You can do it with individual products. Yes, that is right, Jimmy. You can do it with individual products, but you can't do it with the sales funnel. Danny's asking, why doesn't JVZ have their programmers redo it better? Well, that's the question everybody's had, and JVZ is constantly making changes to their marketplace. Since some of the big hitters like Omar there are now suggesting that, hopefully they will do something better that makes it a little more sense. If you've ever set one up in Warriors Plus, they draw the little arrows and the connecting lines, and it makes a whole lot more sense the way they do theirs. So I'm hoping they adopt something like that it builds the actual diagram on the fly instead of having the diagram like they had that fills in the blanks. David says, I had the same question towards the end. He said that they might be doing that soon. I hope they do. Like I said, it's a lot of people have asked about that. In fact, that's one of the first things I did. I asked them what's supposed to go in that lower left-hand box. I can't see what I'm supposed to put in there. Their support gets that question a lot when people are setting up their very first sales funnel. I had like I said, since the release of the Easy Passive Sales, I just set up a single product in that video demonstration. I had people ask about how to set up a sales funnel that had upsells and downsells in them, and I wanted to show you guys this video because Omar did a great job of explaining everything it's involved with setting up a sales funnel. And one of the key things you want to be aware of is what he said in creating the actual buy buttons. The biggest mistake, just like he said in the video, people make is they go back to the seller's marketplace to the individual products and create their sales button codes from there, which breaks the funnel. If you do that, you need to create the buy buttons from within the funnel that you're setting up, so it creates the right links, so that each one of them, as the customer, the prospect is going through your funnel, when they click on the yes or the no, or the buy button or the no thanks, it sends them to the next product in the sales funnel. If you use just the regular buy button code that you would get from the seller's marketplace, it will stop the funnel at that point. If they decide not to purchase, it will actually, once they click the no thanks link, it'll send them to the customer portal, and they'll never see the rest of the funnel. So that's a huge mistake a lot of people make in setting up their first sales funnel. They don't create the right buy buttons that would keep the sales funnel flow processing. Okay, you guys have any other questions on sales funnels? Like I said, I know that was a really technical video, especially if you've never set up a sales funnel. But once you do the first one, it's kind of like riding a bike. You have to keep trying to get it till you finally get to take off the training wheels, and it gets simpler as you go. Like I said, the first time I set up one, I had that same exact question, and everybody else has, what are you supposed to put in that lower left-hand box? And it does confuse a lot of people. So I hope they do change that pretty soon, so it does make more sense. I think they ought to do one like Warriors Plus does, where it just draws the diagram on the fly. That way you can see exactly what you're placing in the funnel instead of having boxes up there that won't have anything in them. You don't know if something should be in them or not. That does, like I said, it is really confusing by having something like that. You're wondering, well, what should something be there or should it not be in there? Jimmy says, for InstaMember integration, does JVZoo have the instructions, or are they in the InstaMember docs? they don't have the instructions inside of JVZ for integrating with InstaMember, but Suzanne has a really good video that explains what you're supposed to put in the membership integration with the JVZ, and it does work. I've got a couple of membership sites set up inside of JVZ, and it does work. Now, the thing that I have found, and this is with both Warriors Plus and JVZ concerning membership sites, is the IPN sometimes fails. And the reason why that fails, and this is something that most all membership plugins have a problem with, is PayPal. You have to enable IPN processing inside your PayPal account itself under your profile and settings. And PayPal wants you to set just one URL for that IPN processing. Well, with membership sites, each membership site has its own IPN URL, which sometimes, and it doesn't happen every time, but it happens sometimes when a person's going through your sales funnel and it's actually a membership account that you're selling, that's the product that you're selling is access to a membership level. Sometimes going through both Warriors Plus and JVZoo, that IPN transfer will fail and it will revert back to what you have set up in PayPal, which, like I said, PayPal only allows you to set one as your main IPN URL. So the workaround for that is, in particular, with InstaMember, like Jimmy is saying, you can go inside the InstaMember setup and set up a membership site on the main URL that you set up inside of PayPal, and then inside the InstaMember extra setting, you can set up the different IPN URLs that you have from all other membership sites. And what it will do is, if that happens, if for some reason there's a glitch in JVZoo or Warriors Plus, and it reverts back to the main PayPal IPN URL, it will go back to that membership site that you have set up, and it will cycle down through every one of those IPN URLs till it finds an account and a product that matches what the data is getting back from JVZoo or Warriors Plus. Now, there's also a plugin that Andrew Hunter released for this called Sonic IPN that does the exact same thing, and it's a WordPress-based plugin that does the exact same thing. But if you have InstaMember, it will do that for you. So, there's no need to purchase it if you're using InstaMember. But if you're not using InstaMember, you can get Andrew Hunter's Sonic IPN, and it will do the exact same thing. You would just set up that plugin on a blog. It's on the main URL that you're using inside of your PayPal IPN setup, and then it will do the exact same thing that InstaMember does, cycling them down through the different IPN URLs till it finds one that matches the product that you're selling. I know this is all confusing for some of you guys that have never set up a sales funnel or set up a membership site using, InstaMember or dealing with IPNs. And this is the kind of thing that you run into when you're setting up products. As you get more advanced in selling, instead of, just selling just one-off products where you only have the one product that you're selling, and you get into doing upsells and downsells and selling membership sites, this is the kind of things that you run into, is, little glitches like this that you don't realize you're going to face when you're setting up, a full sales funnel or a membership site that you're selling access to. But almost everything that you'll face, somebody else has faced it before, and you can go, either contact their support and they'll answer your questions, depending on what you're using. So I guess some product vendors are not very good about answering their support, but I know Suzanne's really good about answering hers. And then most all of the affiliate marketplaces like Warriors Plus and JVZoo, they have Facebook groups where you can ask questions in those groups and get answers from people as well. But it is a little confusing when you start stepping out of the realm of selling just one-off products and you go into doing upsells and downsells. I know it is a little confusing once you do that. But again, like I said, the more you do it, the easier it gets. It's like I said, riding a bike. Eventually, you can take the training wheels off and you can just ride the bike and not have any problems. And that's exactly the same way it is, with setting up sales funnels and setting up membership site access. Jimmy says, on the front end product, can you set up an exit pop to send to a downsell? Yeah, that's what Omar said at the very beginning. He was saying in the scenario that you didn't have an exit pop that would, offer the downsell to somebody that was leaving your front end product. That is the way to have, the option of having a yes or no on the front end product, is to having an exit script. But he was given the example of not having one, and how confusing the sales funnel is set up by, having, it looks like you have the option of a yes or no on your front end product when you really in fact don't. But that is a way of doing it, Jimmy, is with an exit pop script to, if somebody's going to leave your front end product, to give them one more chance to offer something as the downsell. And you'll see that a lot over on Warrior Plus sales. A lot of the products you see over on Warrior Plus, when you go to exit the page, there'll be a pop-up that comes up that, will offer you the front end product at a discount. And and this is really popular over on ClickBank as well. You see this a lot on ClickBank, and in fact, in ClickBank, some of the vendors over there take it to the extreme, and you get into what people call an exit script hell, where you cannot get out of it. You're just stuck in an endless loop. And I've seen that happen, with JVZ and Warriors Plus products too. Get stuck in a loop that you can't get out of. You keep constantly answering yes or no, or stay on the page, or close the page, and it keeps opening up another one. So, some people create a loop like that that you can't get out of. But that is a way of doing it, Jimmy, is having an exit script so that you can offer the downsell if somebody leaving your front end offer. Okay, you guys have any other questions on sales funnels? We got quite a few questions that we got in the replay form this week, and then questions that I got two in email, and then got several in the replay form. So if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and go do those. The first one, and this one goes back to the training I did just recently on creating white label bonuses for affiliate sales and product sales. The question was, are all WordPress plugins and themes open source, and can they be used like PLR? No, they aren't all open source. Now, any plugin or theme that is listed over on the WordPress.org repository is open source, and you can take those and rebrand those and use them sort of similar like PLR. It's actually, you're just branding them. But there are plugins that aren't listed there, like plugins that you buy from somebody else that's created them. They are not open source, and not open for rebranding and white labeling. Now the argument comes in, and this comes from some of the hardcore G&L people, that anything that's attached to WordPress is really supposed to be open source. But WordPress has some verbiage in their rights and copyrights saying that any plugin that was created specifically for third-party use that performs a specific function outside of WordPress can be copyrighted and is not open to open source and rebranding. But the key thing I want to make clear here is anything that has been uploaded into the WordPress repository has to be GNL open source and can be used as open source product that you can rebrand. So that is the technical caveat to that. If it's listed over in the repository, it's open game for you to do whatever you want with that plugin. The next question says, and this is based on the same training, what products make the best bonuses? The bonuses that get the most attention these days are software related, WordPress related, and video related. The software and WordPress being the ones that get the most attention. People are really interested in software, and anything to work with WordPress are the most popular, what people are most after. Video trainings or video products are next, and then last would be just straight out PLR, PDFs, and that type of thing. So if you're looking to create good bonuses for either your own products that you're selling or for affiliate promotions, try to find software and WordPress related plugins and themes if you can. Those are going to make your best bonuses. Are going to get the most attention from people that are visiting, your offers. The next question, where do you get answers to technical problems with websites? There's actually three places that I go to look for answers to technical problems that I'm having with either websites or coding in general, or even graphics. I even have struggle with graphics sometimes. Google is the first place I look, and I always look for W3 schools links. Those always seem to have the best, quickest answers to questions, especially website related. The next place I go to is YouTube to look for video tutorials. Sometimes you can get a quick answer over on YouTube. Sometimes you have to wade through a whole webinar to get answer to a question. But for the most part, YouTube is a really good search engine too for finding answers to technical problems. And then if I've got a really technical problem, something to do with a plugin that's not working right or a script that's not working right, or if I'm having problems with something inside of cPanel or something like that, the best place I have found for that is a website called stackoverflow.com. Let me paste that link for you guys. Not a lot of people know about Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is kind of like Yahoo Answers in a way, in that you can go there and you can ask a question about anything that's website related, WordPress related, script related, and people will give you answers to the questions. Now, sometimes if the question's been asked a bunch, they'll refer you to, the question that's been asked before. But that is one of the best places if you're having extreme technical problems trying to figure out something that's not going right with a plugin that you've installed, or something that you're working on that's not displaying right, or website design where you're wanting something to look a certain way and it's not turning out the way you want it to look. Stack Overflow is a great place to go and ask questions and get answers. And a lot of times you can just type in the question, like I said, it's already been asked before, and you can get the answers almost immediately. But every time I've ever asked a question there, usually within 24 hours, you'll get the answer that you need. There'll be several people that will jump in and answer the question. So if you're struggling with something that's really technical and you can't get the support from the vendor or whatever it is, or if it's something you're doing on your own and you don't know how to proceed to solve the problem, bookmark Stack Overflow and go there and just ask the question. Like I said, you'll get almost immediate answers to the problem. Within 24 hours, you should have an answer to the problem that you're trying to solve. Then the next question says, how would you launch a product on JVZ and Warriors Plus at the same time? Would you need two different sales pages with one button each? That is one way of doing it, and that's the manual way of doing it, is having copies of your sales page that one is you're going to list over on Warriors Plus, another that you're going to list on JVZ. But there is an alternative method for doing that. In fact, Mark Hess just released a plugin for that called Dual Launch, WP Dual Launch, I believe is what it's called. It is WordPress, so your pages would have to be created with WordPress. But you can put in button codes for your different affiliate networks or affiliate marketplaces, and depending on where the traffic comes from, it will display the right button code for that visitor that's coming to your website. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is Jimmy mentioned InstaMember. InstaMember has the exact same function inside of it. If you're using InstaMember to sell access to your products, you can set up multiple button codes with InstaMember, and it will do the exact same thing. You can list the main sales page link over on Warriors Plus and JVZ, and depending on where the actual affiliate traffic comes from, it will display the right button code for whichever one, whichever link they're coming from. So there's an easy way of doing it, with plugins. If you're using WordPress to create your sales pages, or if you're doing, static HTML, you will have to create duplicate copies of your sales page and put different buy buttons from the different affiliate marketplaces on the individual sales pages. But it can be done. I mean, it's not impossible to do. And in fact, I used to do it manually for years until they did come out with things in WordPress that would allow you to do that. It's a good thing to do actually to have launch your products in several different marketplaces because that opens you up to even more affiliates when you do that. So it's a really good strategy to use to launch in multiple places. The next question, can you update an old WSO without going through the whole admission process? I'd like to upgrade the graphics and sales pitch, then bump it to make it live again. Actually, yes, you can do that. And the process that you'd want to do if you're wanting to do that would be to go to the original thread first and then click on the edit and do all of your edits inside of the copy first before you bump it. Make sure you have everything updated and changed that you're wanting to change inside of it and save your changes, and then go down to the scroll down to the bottom of the screen and click bump the thread, and it will update it. And you can even change the name of the thread. Now, the only caveat to this is there is a couple of caveats to this. One is if you did change the title of the WSO, any responses that you got from the previous launch of it and people, posted in the thread, it's going to have the original WSO title in their responses. So, there's going to be that one caveat. If you do change the title, the previous responses are going to have the old WSO thread title on those. Second, if you change the product quite a bit to where the sales copy doesn't match the responses that you got from the previous WSO when it launched, it could confuse people that see it for the first time when you're rebumping it back up to the top. It could confuse people that they're seeing responses to sales copy that doesn't exist anymore, if that makes sense. I know people that, and they used to do this a lot when WSOs cost $40 and it's only $20 to bump a WSO. They used to go in, they would start a WSO, and then after a while, after it's had, a couple months or so, and it's had time to get way down in the list, they would go in and edit the copy for a brand new product and pay the $20 to bump it back up to the top to save yourself $20 from listing another WSO. Now that it doesn't make sense to do that since it's the same price to start a new WSO as opposed to bumping one. There's no difference. Well, it's 5 cents cheaper to bump one than it is to start a new WSO. But that's the two things you have to watch when you are working with an older WSO is if you do change the title, that the original title is going to show on the previous post to the thread, and then if you change the copy quite a bit, some of the responses in the thread could be confusing to people that are seeing the WSO for the first time. But it is possible, and I do that myself. I'll go in every once in a while. I'll find one of my older WSOs for a product that I am still selling, and I'll change it up a little bit, to where maybe the format's a little bit better in modern day times, make it more appealing as to what everybody else is posting over there, as opposed to having the older style that I was using back when the WSO first launched, and I'll dress it up a little bit and then rebump it back up to the top. But I've never actually changed one enough to where it didn't make sense for if when somebody's scrolling down they read the comments that people left that that didn't pertain to the sales copy. So you want to be aware of that. If you do change the sales copy, that some of your replies in the thread could confuse people if you change it quite a bit. And then the last question that I have, it says, is there any more news about Warriors Plus and Warrior Forum separating? How will it affect posting products? Well, it's not going to affect posting products over on the Warriors Forum at all, in that you can still use any affiliate marketplace you want to sell your products over on Warrior Forum. It's just that there's no integration now. Well, there is still right now, but there won't be after Friday of this week. There won't be an integration between Warrior Forum and Warrior Plus, in that when you list a product in Warrior Plus, it won't be able to pull up the thread over on Warrior Forum and show the little WSO icon beside of it that it shows now, that it's actually a WSO listed over on the Warrior Forum. Also, it changes the way you did upsells and downsells in the Warrior Plus marketplace. Again, it still doesn't affect anything over on the Warrior Forum, because on the Warrior Forum you still just have just the one sales page, and then any upsells or downsells were separate pages that were off of the Warrior Forum to start with. I mean, that's always been the case. So it changes that in a little bit, in that you don't have that option over on Warrior Plus. It's called an offer over there now instead of an upsell and a downsell, which is, you used to be able to do upsells and downsells through Warrior Plus, but after Friday, well, actually you can't even do them now. They've already disabled that part of it. But after Friday, you won't be able to do that like you would be able to previously by pulling up the WSO thread. Now, the other thing that nobody has mentioned, and this is what something that's going to change after Friday too. Right now, when you have a product listed over in the Warrior Plus affiliate marketplace, and you have an affiliate that comes and requests to be activated to be an affiliate and get their link, you right now, and we it's up. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen after Friday, but right now there is a link that you can click. It will pull up their Warrior Forum profile, so you can see, what kind of activity they've had on the Warrior Forum, and it will show their Warrior Forum username. So now after Friday, once they separate themselves from the Warrior Forum, that's probably going to go away. And that was one of the key things that I used in making my decision on whether I wanted to approve an affiliate or not over on Warrior Plus, was seeing that they did have a Warrior Forum account. And once that option goes away, that I won't be able to just click a link to go over for it to automatically pull up their profile on Warrior Forum, it's going to make it harder for vendors to make a decision on whether they should approve an affiliate or not if they wanted to, base their activity on the Warrior Forum like you used to be able to do. And like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with that, and we won't know until after Friday when they do the official, cutting it off altogether. And who knows? I mean, it may be that they have a way of still enabling it. I kind of don't think that they will. I think after Friday we're going to lose that option, that it's going to be up to us as a vendor if we want to check an affiliate out and see if they've been active on the Warrior Forum. I think it's going to be up to us to do the research on our own instead of having a nice link to click that would automatically pull up their profile. So that's the biggest changes it's going to make. It's not going to affect posting a WSO. It's still going to be the same exact process. You can still use any payment processor or affiliate marketplace that you want to. It's just that they won't have the tie-ins with Warriors Plus that they had before, where a lot of the info was shared amongst the two to where you integrate with the Warrior Forum as far as like the checking on affiliates and pulling up offer pages. Because you used to be able, and like I said, they've already killed this part. You used to be able to set up a funnel inside of Warrior Plus where you could offer one WSO as your front end and have another WSO as your upsell and another WSO as your downsell. You used to be able to do that. Now you can't do that at all. They've stopped that altogether. So that's already been changed there. You're not going to be able to do that anymore unless you go through their offer funnel and put the direct links. You can still use the Warrior Forum threads that you have over as your sales page. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just that you actually have to create an offer funnel instead of having the direct linking that they offered before to create a funnel. I hope that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of confusing again in a way, kind of like talking about the JVZ sales funnels, how confusing they are. But that's the basics of it. Is they're severing their ties where they won't have the info to pull up from WSO threads that were there before. So you won't be able to create a sales funnel like you were able to before by having two or three of your WSO threads as upsells and downsells, other than doing them manually as offers. You will be able to still do it, but you have to do them manually as offers. Okay, that was the last of the questions that I got in the forums. The one on the technical problems was a really good question, and I get quite a few emails from people during the week, to ask questions, technical type questions on how to solve a problem. And that's the exact process that I use. I use Google first, YouTube next, and then if it's something really technical, I go to Stack Overflow. And like I said, you can use Stack Overflow just to answer just general questions. It's kind of like Yahoo Answers in a way, in that you can post a question over there and people will start answering the questions. Within a few minutes, within a couple of hours, you'll have at least one answer to your question. It may not be the answer you're looking for, but somebody will answer your question within an hour or two, almost every single time you post a question there. And then again, like I said, a lot of times you'll post a question over there and it'll pull up the links to the same question you've asked that somebody else has already asked before, so you can get your answers almost immediately. So, Stack Overflow has been one of the best websites I've ever found. It's definitely on my bookmarks for when I have, something that's technical, extremely technical, to go over there first, see if somebody else has had that same question. Because most of the time, anything that you're facing is a technical hurdle. Somebody else has faced that same question, and at some point in time, they've asked the question on the internet somewhere on how to solve that problem. So don't feel like, when you run into technical hurdles, whether it be, HTML or plugins or graphics or whatever it might be, or if you're trying to code something for the first time on your own, you're trying to code something, even if you're an experienced programmer and you run into technical hurdles, don't be afraid to, to use Google and Stack Overflow. I mean, you'll find your answers there a lot of times and not have to struggle with it, and beat around on something and, get frustrated and give up on it. I know Stack Overflow has saved me a lot of times on PHP. I deal a lot with PHP, and there's been a lot of times with, especially when there's been changes made. There's a new upgrade to PHP on servers. I know when we went from PHP 4 to PHP 5, there was just major changes and things that didn't work anymore that used to work in PHP 4 that no longer worked in PHP 5. So, I visited Stack Overflow a lot during that time period when that first switched over. Okay, guys, well, I guess that's about it. If you guys have any other questions before we leave tonight, I know the training we had on the sales funnel, if you've never created one, it was probably a little confusing to you. Like I said, I'm going to take that one image that he showed in there once he had his whole sales funnel set up. I'm going to capture that and create the arrows to show you guys how it should go, because he was just highlighting it, and it was kind of hard to follow in the video. But I'm going to get a screen capture of that and draw the actual arrows on it for you guys. That way you can actually see the actual flow. And like I said, if you've ever set up one in Warriors Plus, they do that on the fly, drawing the arrows and the connecting lines. So, it's a lot more clear on Warriors Plus how to set up a sales funnel, because they do the actual diagram on the fly as you're adding the products, as opposed to JVZ's leaderboard type thing. I guess it's a leaderboard. Maybe it's a process board that, you fill in the blanks. So it does make a lot more sense, the way Warriors Plus does it as opposed to JVZ. But anyway, thanks for coming to the call tonight, guys. On the replay, there'll be the question form if you have questions for next week. Of course, you can always send me emails. Don't forget to go to our Facebook group. If you've not been to the Facebook group, be sure and go there. Everybody can join. Invite your friends. And in fact, maybe next week, and I'm not promising this, but maybe next week we may run some sort of a referral contest, give out some prizes for referring people, new members to the Facebook group. So I'd like to see some more activity over there. And guys, don't be afraid to post your offers there. That's one of the reasons the group is there, is to help you post, offers that you have. Maybe you can get some affiliates, maybe you can make some sales. So, don't be afraid to do that. Anyway, thanks for coming to the call tonight, guys. Enjoy your week, and look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a great night, folks.